Drew and Jonathan Scott. People recognize the name from HGTV and Property Brothers and all the spin-offs. What got you into mattresses?
Well, we're sleep snobs. That's the first thing. We really put the time and the effort into understanding what makes a home better.
With what we do with our brand and Property Brothers and everything is trying to help families. We want all families to love where they live and to feel like they're in a safe, happy, healthy home, an affordable home.
Welcome into the Independent Thinking Podcast. This is your host, Rob Stott. Well, I've peaked. We might have to end the podcast after this episode. No, I joke. But in all seriousness, it was absolutely an incredible opportunity to be able to sit down for just a few minutes with Mr. Drew and Jonathan Scott, the Property Brothers, as they're known, of HGTV fame and the Property Brothers show and all the spinoffs that they got around that brand that they've built for themselves in the real estate and renovation industries. And a great opportunity today to talk about their Scott Living line of mattresses, which made their debut at primetime in March in Las Vegas for the Nationwide Marketing Group membership. And we're diving deep into it today. Drew and Jonathan, they are a very recognizable brand, and people, whether they see or hear them as we get into, they know who they are. And there's something to be said about being able to put a line of mattresses on your retail floor that has their faces on it. But it's more than just that. As we learn and dive into the Scott Living mattress line with them, I mean, these brothers, I guess it's as be expected, right? They are full bore, have dove into this line in the mattress industry and understand so much about it. And, everything from the inner workings of a mattress to, how to raise and lower temperature of one sleep to making sure, there's proper support throughout the entire mattress. And they get it. And they've spent the time, they've invested the time in making sure that, they built a line of mattresses that they are comfortable putting their name and their highly respected brand on. And that's something that is exciting to be able to dive into with them and share that knowledge and show, our membership that it's not, not just a name. And they've really invested the time and effort to make sure that this is a line that can be successful for them, of course, but also for independent retail and you as a mattress store owner to be able to put this on your floor and drive business and drive traffic and drive interest into what they're doing and what you're carrying as a retailer. So an episode that I've been looking forward to being able to publish and don't want to spend any more time, hyping it up. Let's just dive into it. This is Drew and Jonathan Scott, the Property Brothers, here on the Independent Thinking Podcast. All right, we are back on the Independent Thinking Podcast, and typically when I do these, I feel like I like to give my guests the opportunity to introduce themselves. I don't know that I have to this time. I feel like anyone watching, listening might know who Drew and Jonathan Scott are, more commonly known as the Property Brothers. Scott Brothers, I appreciate you both taking the time and hopping on and sharing more about the Scott Living line of mattresses with us today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. I know you invited me to join, and Jonathan's just sort of third wheeling, but it's fine.
It's totally fine. It's my life.
I know. We just the beers. I'm
also,
jealous.
I think it's funny. You have this strange phenomenon with us as well, where people recognize our voices. If we go to like Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that, and they'll hear our voices from 2 aisles over, and they'll come running over and ask us about their kitchen plans and things like that. So this is great for a podcast because anyone listening to this, hopefully you'll be able to tell who's Drew and who's Jonathan.
Right. That's a true test of fandom right there, right? One of you go to a little higher octave than the other.
It's funny. I actually am just coming off of a cold, so I'm sure you love being this close to me, Jonathan. Yeah. But Jonathan usually has the bassier voice, but I think right now I might be just a little low.
Just throwing people off. A little bit of tiredness too. A new father, Drew, is that right?
That is right.
That's
yes,
right?
Piper is actually 8 weeks today.
That's incredible.
So,
congratulations.
This is actually the perfect podcast to ask, how are you sleeping?
That's exactly what I was getting to. Yeah, see that? I know. Might as well talk about Matt. Are you getting sleep?
I'm getting some sleep. And at least, when you're a tired parent, all you really need is the perfect mattress to be on, because a minute here, 10 minutes there, you need the best you can get. But Piper's amazing. Linda's the trooper. She's the one obviously taking the brunt end of this and feeding and waking up in the middle of the night to feed. But I love it. We have our toddler is 2 years old, Piper's 8 weeks old, so we have this little dynamic duo.
Awesome. Well, again, just appreciate you both hopping on. Excited to dive into this. Like you said, great segue, sleep, to be able to talk about mattresses. Obviously, people recognize the name from HGTV and Property Brothers and all the spinoffs and the renovations and selling of property. What got you into mattresses?
Oh, man. Well, we're sleep snobs. That's the first thing. We, years and years ago, because we've been doing our shows now for 14 years, and it was only a couple years into it where we decided we wanted to get into the product business. I think, we really put the time and the effort into understanding what makes a home better, what makes people get more out of their home. And I remember, and we're total nerds when it comes to the data, and we were looking at it and we're like, oh my gosh, you realize there's one piece of furniture in the house that you use more.
You spend a third of your life on.
A third of your life. Lazy people spend even more than that. But it's the bed, it's the mattress. And nothing can affect your week more than if you get a bad sleep or you wake up and you're not refreshed, you're sore. So we started breaking down what are the things that make mattresses great, what are the things that make mattresses bad. And it was pretty easy to reverse engineer an incredible mattress. And to date, we've sold over 1 million of our Scott Living mattresses, which is incredible. And I love the stories we get from people who say, how it's affected their life in a positive way.
Yeah, they haven't had a good sleep in years. And not that we're making medical claims, but people will tell us, I have this condition, or even for myself, I have a lower back condition. And if, some people say they go to a hotel to get a great night's sleep. I don't. When I come back from a hotel, I finally get a good night's sleep on our mattress. So it's just, with what we do with our brand and Property Brothers and everything, is trying to help families. We want all families to love where they live and to feel like they're in a safe, happy, healthy home, an affordable home. And it's exactly the same with their furniture, especially a mattress. A mattress is a very big ticket item. Some people will try and cheap out and buy a cheap, couple $100 mattress online, and that's not going to give you the support you need. But now we've been able to help, like Jonathan said, over 1 million people get a great night's sleep at an affordable price.
Yeah.
Well, and nothing is more satisfying than having someone who's purchased a Scott Living by Drew and Jonathan mattress, and then they come back to get another one because they're, maybe they're remodeling or they want one for the guest room now or whatever it might be. That's the biggest compliment, is when somebody returns and gets another.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys mentioned it, the number growing too, as we get, this brand into nationwide member stores. Obvious and apparent listening to you talk about them, you're heavily involved in, the building and production of these mattresses. Talk about what it was like getting, up to speed on this industry. Did you know a lot about mattresses before you got into it, or what was that like for you?
No, I mean, Jonathan and me we've always been nerds for the details. I mean, I'm the guy, I think you're the same, but I'm the guy that no matter what I buy, if it was a vehicle or an appliance, I read the entire manual. Front to back, I read the whole manual because I want to understand everything about it. That's my date night with Linda.
Is that what the bedtime
hey, Linda,
books are like?
Go?
Are you reading manuals for bedtime books?
Exactly. Oh, yeah. I just got a robot vacuum and I just did that. But anyway, so with the mattress, it's the same thing. We wanted to fully understand what are the layers, what makes for a good sleep. Because, you hear people all the time, what they mainly say is, oh, I love a soft mattress or I love a hard mattress. But that's all they know. But in reality, too soft or too hard, either way is not a good thing. So what else within you can give you within the mattress can give you the soft feel, but the proper support?
We actually put it out to our fans at one point. I remember when we put it out and we said, what are the biggest issues you have with your sleep, with your mattress? And we get 500,000 messages a week each on social media from fans. Questions, people saying, I love this in the show, or, have you ever thought of doing this? Or what about this product? And we actually take all that feedback. We have a team that goes through that, scrubs through there, gets the data. And I remember we looked, and one of the biggest things were people saying, well, how do we figure out, is it too firm? Is it too soft? How do we, stop ourselves from rolling off the side of the bed because there's no support on the side of the bed? I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm hot and I'm sweaty and I don't like it. These are all things that we've fixed. Yeah. You no longer have to worry about that. The different zones we have and the different coil support, we actually called it our twin support zones because, I don't know, maybe it's a gimmick, but we're twins.
Yeah.
And so we designed everything, and it was funny because our partner said, they want to engineer the best mattress. They believe that if we get behind it, the consumer is going to get behind it, and it's true, and it worked, and we delivered on every single thing that we promised, and all of those things. For me, the biggest thing is waking up hot and sweaty. I cannot stand it. That will ruin my sleep. And so using materials that breathe better, that's how we, work with a lot of these materials. We want to make sure we're bringing a very natural story.
And a lot of people are also, they'll say, well, this is your mattress. It's underneath your sheet, so you're not even touching it. You will feel the difference if you have a quality cover on your mattress, and you'll feel it through your sheets, and also what's right below that. I mean, that's why we love the idea that you can have that comfort sleep and you layer in the levels of a memory foam or whatever you might have that gives you that comfort on top of the support below. Yeah.
Well, the way you're talking about it too, apparent that you guys both test these. Do you stress test these mattresses in any way? You talk about twins. I imagine twins like jumping on beds, right? Is that what you guys are doing?
We're like monkeys jumping on a bed.
Yeah, Mom frowns upon us doing that. But it's not just us, like our whole family as well. Like everyone who knows us has a Scott Living mattress. And for ourselves, I use the plush gold hybrid, and we actually Drew and I are different. You don't have the same mattress.
No, I have the hybrid platinum pillow top. So mine's a firm though. So, but
that's the top of the line mattress that we make.
But this is the thing: you test all the different ones. It's we've had mattresses at sort of all different price points too, because we're trying to make sure that we're bringing something to people that's more than what they thought they could afford. Yeah. But I get a good sleep on all the mattresses. It's just a little different. Some people like more of a pillow top, like I have, and others don't. But the main thing too, like Jonathan was saying, all the mattresses, you're not going to have that divot in the middle where you roll into the middle, or you're not going to fall off the edge if you're too close.
Well, I feel like there's something in there too. Do you guys have to extend these? I know the Scott brothers, you guys are tall. That's why we're doing this virtual as well. I know you've met my colleague Chad Fisher and have a pretty epic picture next to each other. Him being, I'm not much taller than Chad, and I don't even know if I could say taller, but did you have to extend
everyone
these?
Look small.
If you want, we can adjust the angle of our cameras so we're looking down at the camera.
That'd be more accurate.
In the podcast. But no, I mean, you have standard sizes for beds, right? So we have all our standard sizes. The certain things that we will recommend to people for adjustment. If you have an adjustable base, you'll want to have 2 of the twin XLs instead of a king, because that gives you side-by-side adjustable if you want different. But the mattresses themselves, they're all your standard sizes.
No, that's incredible.
And it's a thickness thing too. A lot of people don't want a mattress that's 15 inches thick. You can still have a quality mattress that's 12 inches thick. You don't need to go super thick. It's just all depending on comfort and what people have for their budgets.
And it's also analyzing your entire sleep program. You have, obviously the mattress is the most important part. You have to have something that provides the support. I love the fact that we also manufacture the adjustable bed bases. I've been promoting adjustable bed bases to my friends for like 20 years, and they're like, what? No way. That's what you get. You have put that in the hospital, and it's the greatest thing of all time. You combine that with a great mattress. Then what touches your skin, the sheets have to be incredible. We manufacture, and we've sold the same.
I got to tell you one thing, though, with adjustable bases. So a lot of times people are like, no, that's for in the hospital. It's for old people. It's not for me. Our dad, who's 90, said, no, that's something for old people in the hospital. I'm like, Dad, 1, you're 90. And 2,
it's a great outlook.
At my age, I've had it since I was in my 30s, and we love it. It's absolutely amazing. Anyway, I just thought it was funny.
It's
and now he loves it.
It was also funny because when we first put one in for Mom and Dad, they didn't realize they had put the remote underneath like the pillow, and they didn't know it was there. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, the bed started moving on them, and they thought it was an earthquake or something. I'm like, no, it was you guys.
Oh, no.
But speaking of the pillow is the last part of the sleep system. Yeah. Making sure you have all these things together. Oh, my gosh. It is transformative how much more refreshed you feel when you have a great sleep system.
Well, what's awesome about everything you're saying, too, is it's a story for the retailer to tell, right? As they're out there, talking about these products with their customers. On a show floor, we know not a lot of real estate on a retail show floor, especially in the mattress industry. So, what's the the why for Scott Living on one of our members, in one of their showrooms? What would you tell them?
I think a really big thing is, our faces are on the box. Our branding has our face, and I think that a big part of what we've built over the years is a trust with our audience. People watch our shows, they trust our opinion, they love what we do helping families. So if you see our face in a store, it does make people stop. And then when they look at the details, it was really, really important to us that these mattresses, even if you took our face away from it and our name off of it, these mattresses are the best of the best. And then you just happen to put us on there, and it adds one more layer of that trust factor, and it really helps people make that purchasing decision.
Well, and there are a lot of companies out there who have come out with gimmick mattresses, and they've taken away all of the actual beneficial elements of it, and they put all the money into marketing, and it's great marketing, and it's slick, and they sell a ton of mattresses. But at the end of the day, the customer's not getting what they want. We put everything into these mattresses. We engineered incredible mattresses with all the features. Because we're in everyone's living room every single day on our shows, people know us and trust us, and so we're not willing to jeopardize that trust. And so we put our brand behind it, and it's paid off. So we've heard incredible success stories from anyone. And also, we don't sell direct to the consumer.
Right.
That's an incentive for us to go through your members, because we're promoting that people go to your members and they get their mattresses.
This
through
is
the
basically
stores.
what I tell all the members is, just say, hey, when I was hanging out with the Property Brothers, we're talking about mattresses, and it's just one extra level of it's making them like one of the team. We're all one big team together trying to help families.
It's a great point. And one thing you mentioned, the trust. I know e-scores are something big in your world. Do you guys know? I know your composite's like very high, right? It's like top 10% of celebrities. Do you guys know where you stand, and do you?
I'm kind of a
compete
big
with one
deal.
another?
Yeah, no big deal.
No,
I do. Not to mention I'm 1 point higher than Jonathan. But
I
anyway,
don't get it.
no. But this is the thing.
I've had work done.
We're not ego driven at all. We don't see ourselves as celebrities. And even with that kind of a scoring system, the only thing that I take from that is we are right at the top, and we, in that top, 10%, 9%. And what I think that means, out of every person you could know, celebrity, athlete, or whoever it might be, that people recognize us. But there's a difference. They recognize us because everyone lives somewhere. Everyone wants to be inspired in their home, and they feel like they know us because of our type of shows and helping them make decisions that will help their family. And that's pretty cool to me to have that kind of recognition.
Well, and it's one thing as well. You'll have celebrities who do an endorsement campaign for a furniture line or for something, and that's great. And these are talented people who do that. We've dedicated our entire lives and our careers to making homes better, to making life at home better, to making your home work harder for you, so you can get more out of it. And so I don't think you can even compare to that. We've really dedicated to make sure that any product we put out there, and we manufacture over 12,000 products, and we've made sure that anything, and I would say of that, our mattress program has been the most successful of any of the products that we've done. Mm-hmm. Everything we manufacture has to perform the way we say it's going to perform, and if it doesn't, we either fix it or we stop manufacturing it. Well, the mattresses have definitely outperformed everybody's expectations.
And that's the thing, like we were saying too, is we don't ever just put our face on something. That is not how we work. Right. We're not in this for a quick buck or an endorsement. We are all hands on deck. Our team, ourselves, and our manufacturing partner, making sure that we know every detail and what's important to the consumer. That's the thing that I find funny, is when you have brands that have products, they're not looking at it from what the perspective of the homeowner, what's important to the homeowner. They're just looking at something, what's the new shiny thing I can make money on?
Right.
This is actually a product that is amazing, and it's affordable.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's something that our members are going to be able to get in front of here in short order at prime time in August in Las Vegas, 11th to 14th. Excited to get it on the show floor. Back-to-back shows. I think it debuted at the last show. We're getting it on the floor in August again, so excited to have it there. Before we wrap up, we did take the time. We asked members to submit some questions, so we wanted to be able to give them the opportunity. Once we got through all of filtering out everyone that asked you to come stop by their home and offer remodeling advice, we got a few that were still left. But one of which was wanting to know what you guys did prior to your careers as the property brothers before you got into home remodeling and home improvements.
Well, my big dream was to be an actor. So first I wanted to be a basketball player in the NBA. Wasn't quite good enough, but I wanted to be an actor. Or tall enough. Actor and director.
Believe
for me.
it or not.
I wanted to be a magician. I wanted to be the next David Copperfield. And actually, which is funny when it comes to renovations, that's how I originally learned woodworking, metalworking, and fabrication, was building magic props.
It was actually funny seeing over the iterations of his props. They were so heavy in the beginning. He was doing all like wood built. And then he would get better and better, aluminum frame, and So that'll be the next thing. You buy a mattress, we'll do a magic show for you.
I mean, we were in Vegas. It's a great opportunity if you wanted to, perform some magic. Maybe you get picked up there. Someone notices you. I don't know.
I lived in Vegas for 15 years. It was that was a wild time. We actually, when we started Property Brothers, I was living in Vegas.
Here's a fun fact that not many people know. Before Property Brothers, because we had been pitching ourselves to the network, and then we were picked up for Property Brothers. Before that, we had pitched Jonathan for a magic show about him going after a Las Vegas show, magic show.
Smoke and Mirrors.
Yeah, and that was making traction. And then I'm kind of glad that we went in the direction of Property Brothers.
I think we did okay.
Might have worked out all right. That's awesome. Well, Drew and Jonathan, we really appreciate it. I said it at the top. It's awesome to be able to get you guys on and know that our members have not just a brand that is reliable, but the brand that is you guys behind it. It's awesome to see just how invested you are in the Scott Living line, and I know our members are excited about the potential and opportunity that's in front of them. So we appreciate it.
We're incredibly excited too. I mean, everything. You guys are incredible. What an organization, and the members are everything. That's what drives our business. So. We listen to the members, and we love the feedback, and we love to hear as well what the customer's saying. So it's kind of like a all hands on deck effort in order to get this new collection out. So I'm excited to hear what everybody thinks when they see the new collection.
Awesome.
Are we supposed to be in the showroom? Are you and me supposed to choose a mattress and we're just laying on it all weekend?
It's like an art exhibit. Drew and I are just sleeping on the mattresses, and then people can come and look and poke at us.
Right. Yeah. Oh, like that Madame Tussauds, but it's actually you. And little did they know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Well, thanks for having us, Rob.
I don't think there's any better endorsement for a mattress than one from a new father who is spending his nights sleeping on one of these mattresses, let alone, being half the brand behind the Scott Living line. So Drew and Jonathan, again, I said it to them during, but truly appreciate them taking the time and diving into this line of mattresses that they are fully committed to, and committed not just to having it be a success in the mattress industry, but for our independent retailers here at Nationwide Marketing Group as well. So really appreciate them diving into it and sparing that time and hopping on the podcast. And as always, appreciate you listening to the Independent Thinking Podcast, and we'll catch you next time.